The countdown is on. Next week, version 6.1 drops, with Nefer stepping onto the stage and a Furina rerun sharing the front row before the banners roll over to Arlecchino and Zhongli later on. You've been asking for a straightforward Phase 1 Primogem count, how much you can pocket before the Furina and Nefer banners disappear from your screen, so that's exactly what this video delivers. I will lay out every study source you can count on, note the parts that can shift a little by schedule or speed, and show you how to time your logins so not a single Primogem slips past you before the banner swap. Let us start with the daily baseline because this is the backbone of Phase 1 for everyone. Over 21 days, your daily commissions add up to 1,260 Primogems if you do them all. That number assumes you actually open the adventure handbook and click claim each day, and it assumes you do not miss logins. If you have a busy stretch coming, set a phone reminder or use the platform app to grab them on the go. Those 4 little tasks are still the single most reliable stream in the game. Now the story. Phase 1 of 6.1 gives main story rewards worth 650 Primogems plus 2 pulls, which equals 320 Primogems when you translate to gem value, for a combined total of 970. There is no new map expansion this time, so exploration is not carrying the gem count like it did in 6.0. Keep expectations grounded. This is a mid-cycle patch with a big banner lineup and a lot of systems changes, but not a world drop full of chests. That is why counts in this video will look lighter than the debut of Nod Cry. Achievements give a tiny bump in the first half. You can expect about 50 Primogems from new tasks you will naturally hit while you play. If you enjoy tidying up the achievement tabs, you may squeeze a little more from old categories you forgot, but I am not counting any backlogs here. The shop matters. There is one Paimon store reset during Phase 1, and that is 5 pulls, which equals 800 Primogems worth of value if you convert. Grab the Intertwined Fates first if you are saving for the current banners, and do not forget that the shop cycle is monthly, not tied to the patch day. Mark the calendar so you do not let the reset pass without exchanging Stardust. Imaginarium Theater has a reset once inside this half, and with the new Luna stage the new payout is 1,000 Primogems. Stygian Onslaught resets too and brings 450 Primogems. You know the drill by now. Use it to farm artifacts in the first few days, because you can clear it quicker than artifact domains, and of course for the Dust of Enlightenment to re-roll your artifacts. Even if you are not pushing for perfect times, the Primogems land as long as you clear the hard stage, which most of you should be able to do. There is no Spiral Abyss reset inside the first half window. The reset falls in the second phase, so there is nothing to count here for floor rewards. Events are where Phase 1 gets a little unusual. The main event this patch starts on the 7th of November and the first half ends on the 11th of November, which means only a slice of the main event falls within our window. That timing is a little unusual, since the main event normally lands in the first half of a version. It could be tied to the new UGC mode. Maybe Hoyo wants to ease everyone in and not flood players with too much new content at once. Since we do not yet know the exact reward curve for those opening days and players clear at different speeds, a fair estimate for the first half is around 430 Primogems, with the remainder of the event rewards landing in Phase 2. That figure can shift a bit either way depending on how quickly you play, but it is a realistic anchor for planning. Alongside that, the Saurian Sojourn event runs from the 24th of October to the 3rd of November and is worth 420 Primogems. There is no special program code drop inside the first half. The stream is scheduled for the second phase. However, around patch time we usually get at least one small code worth 60 Primogems. That is not guaranteed, but it has happened often enough that counting a single 60 gem code in your plan is reasonable. I will post every code the moment it appears, so if you missed the last set, subscribe and you will not miss the next ones. Update maintenance is the comfortable constant. 600 Primogems arrive in the mailbox if you log in after servers come back up. Other small sources, including character trials, early Archon quest completions, and a couple of one-off tasks, add roughly 320 Primogems. That category is always a little flexible. Put it all together, and the free-to-play total for Phase 1 lands around 6,360 Primogems, which converts to about 40 pulls. If you also run Welkin in this window, that adds 1,890, taking the new total to about 8,250, or roughly 52 pulls. Those are the numbers you can plan around without counting anything wild or assuming perfect luck in every corner. 40 free-to-play pulls in one half is not a jackpot patch, and it is not a disaster either. It sits in that familiar middle lane for Genshin when there is no new map and no anniversary cushion. The reason 6.0 looked so huge is because new regions always flood the economy with exploration, quest chains, and first-time bonuses, and we just rode that wave. Mid-cycle hubs like this one are steadier. You rely on dailies, system resets, and a couple of events. If you went hard in the last patch, this is the time to settle into a routine, pick up all scheduled rewards, and keep your pity moving at a pace you control. The reason to count Primogems is not to chase every banner. It is to make your own plan feel real. When you know you have around 40 free pulls locked for Phase 1 and roughly 52 with Welkin, it becomes easier to decide whether you push now or hold for the second half and beyond. That calm feeling is worth more than a random 10 pull because it keeps you from tossing wishes at the wrong time. Looking ahead, remember that the lantern right is not that far off if you think about how quickly the year has moved. Those patches usually arrive with a fresh set of giveaways and special events that lift everyone's totals. So if 6.1 Phase 1 feels average, that is by design. The bigger spikes are on the horizon again once the seasonal cycle turns. That is the full picture for Phase 1 of 6.1. If this helped you get a clear view of your savings, drop a comment with your personal target for this half, and share how many pulls you are aiming to have before the banners switch over. Thank you again for helping the channel cross 15,000. We are already on the road to 20,000, and I am grateful for every single one of you who shows up, watches, comments, and shares. If you want more straight talk Primogem guides with all numbers spelled out and no fluff, like the video, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.